What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to the Warframe video. So, got another Prime Resurgence announcement today, and DE did it again. Another announcement with no glaive Prime, going on about 2 years of no new glaive Prime relics. But we'll be showing what DE did announce today, and if any of this stuff is worth your time. And basically, if the cosmetics look good, because honestly, nowadays, that's mostly what these Prime Resurgences are, besides, like, extremely specific items. But before we get into it, make sure you're subbed to this channel. We do daily Warframe video uploads. Appreciate everyone that's subscribed recently. Also, check out the live stream channel. I do lots of Warframe live streams. Been playing the First Descendant recently, but I've got some other games we'll be playing next week too. Like the new My Hero Academia BR game, Ultra Rumble. Yes, that actually exists, and I will be playing it on stream with potentially other Warframe content creators. So come stop by this live stream channel. Alright, let's hop into the announcement. What do we got? What did DE decide to release besides the Glaive Prime again? Well, it's actually something that we probably have plenty of in this, economy of this game as far as relics. The next Prime Resurgence will be Zephyr and Chroma. Not exactly exciting. Chroma Prime comes with the Rubico Prime Sniper Rifle and the Graham Prime Greatsword. And Zephyr Prime comes with the Cronin Prime Tonfas and the Tiburon Prime Rifle. Fun fact for the channel, the only Prime Axes I've ever bought the entire full pack of actually was Zephyr Prime Access like years and years ago. I thought her cosmetics looked cool. We'll show those off today. But yeah, not exactly an exciting one. The weapons are fine, like the Rubico Prime I'm pretty sure is still used in Eidolon hunts. The Graham Prime, not as much. The Cronin Prime is kind of not... It's still nice. It's just not really... the Praetos gives you mobility. And the Tiburon Prime is just a generic burst rifle, honestly. It has 3 fire modes. I guess it's not entirely generic, but most people just use the burst fire mode, honestly. So, going to quickly show what some of that stuff looks like. Let's first go over the cosmetics here. We've got the chest piece for Chroma Prime. It's called the Amugi Prime chest plate. Now, the one you want to be looking out for the most on these armor set is going to be the leg plates. A lot of players like these. They look like little mini shoes to me. So if you were to go on like Wisp Prime, you can give Wisp some shoes. And that is a look that some players go for. So as you can see right here, now Wisp has feet. I don't have this item, so this is something that a lot of players do use this for, though. And for the shoulder plates, they're just nice and bulky golden shoulder plates. This is with Chroma Prime. So if this looks good to you, be my guest. I think it looks pretty good, but it is going to be for Regal Aya, basically cash only. You cannot get this in-game for free. And moving over to the Zephyr Prime stuff, let's go ahead and show those cosmetics. It's actually an operator cosmetic, and I want to test something while we're back here. I want to see if this operator cosmetic works on the Drifter, or if it's only for the actual operator itself. So here's my Drifter look right here. I'm currently on the Drifter. And I believe the set is called the... Well, we'll see it in here, actually. So, Void Shell is equipped. Okay, so I'm just going to search Prime. I think it's called the Commodore Prime. So, nothing there. Okay. Prime. I don't think it works on the Drifter. So, that might be an automatic no for a lot of you players. Let me go ahead and switch to the Operator and see if it works still on that. Okay, I already have it equipped on the Operator. So, here you go. The Commodore... Okay, that's unfortunate. Yeah, it does not work on the Drifter. DE, maybe think about changing that, because that is going to be some lost sales right there. So, this used to be referred to as Wallet Chain Prime. Let's see if I can actually get the Wallet Chain back. There used to be like a wallet chain on this thing. Here we go. So, if you put the Commodore Prime apparel on, you have like this chain from the back of your character to like your hip, I guess I'd call it. Yeah, this was referred to as Wallet Chain Prime back in the day. Nowadays, I usually use the Drifter, so you would never even see this. So, if that's something that is looking good to you, I think it looks pretty nice, personally. It's got some good metallic customization. You got like a nice spiky foot down here. So, if that's something that you're interested in, this mask, the Saturn 6 mask, is not part of this. I don't even think it comes with the helmet, actually. Oh, it does, actually. The Commodore Prime mask. So, I don't even use this usually, but yeah, it does technically come with a mask, and you can open and close the hood. So that's really up to you if you think that's good. Let's go ahead and overview the weapons and frames, and then just basically talk about if they're good nowadays. And spoiler alert, yes, both the frames are good nowadays. So let's hop right in. So I'm going to start with Chroma. Now, I have a somewhat recent video on Chroma, basically going for maximum red crits with Wrathful Advance and Exodia Contagion. So the way it works is basically you just jam a ton of power strength on Chroma, a ton of duration, and don't care about any other stat. That's pretty much how most Chroma builds go. So this is my crazy red crit Chroma build right here with using Kalervo's Helminth. But the one I usually use for Profit Taker is going to be using Nourish. And the reason I use Nourish, it gives me guaranteed viral damage on my weapons. And when I fight the Profit Taker, I don't mod my weapons for viral. So this just throws viral on top of everything. I just keep shooting the Profit Taker constantly. He's going to be taking magnetic, radiation, impact puncture, slash, all this stuff. And then also just guaranteed viral too. So I just need to keep firing and firing and firing. So Chroma's really nice for Profit Taker. His fourth ability, Effigy, gives you double credits when you pick them up nearby this Effigy. So right when the Profit Taker dies, you place down this and it gives you double credits on the Profit Taker. It's so much better than Index once you learn what you're doing. And additionally, Chroma's other abilities, Vex Armor and Elemental War, these are like buff abilities. Goes very well with Nourish. Get a buff here, buff here, buff here. You get tons and tons of damage. He can be pretty tanky too, so I still like Chroma. He's still got some really, really, really bad abilities though. I don't even know if I have any abilities with his first still active. He's got like a Dragon Breath ability that's terrible, so unfortunate about that. Now, as far as his weapons, the Rubico Prime, I have two of them apparently. The Rubico Prime is still a really good sniper. It's got good crit, it's got good crit damage, it's got good base damage. This is used in Eidolon hunts with a radiation build usually. But I think nowadays you got easier options, honestly. So definitely don't use that build I was just showing right there. Nowadays you got like the Paragale, you can go Vectis Prime. Rubico Prime is still totally fine, acceptable, but yeah, Paragale is probably easier to get and also cheaper. While also probably having a higher, like let's actually take a look. Well, how much higher is the Paragale's base damage than the Rubico? It's actually a little bit lower, but you know, this is a non-prime weapon. This is probably easier to get. It has worse reload speed. So, I mean, some people use this instead. Now, the accuracy stat is crazy high. 833, is that correct? Either way, like, this is an alternative to the Rubico for sniper Eidolon hunting, but, you know, it's up to you. You can just instantly get the Rubico when this comes out. And for the Grand Prime, unfortunately, it's really not used much nowadays. It's still a good stat greatsword. As you can see, like 32% crit chance, 2.6 multiplier, 32% status chance too, and extremely high slash rating. So that's good. This thing used to be really nasty back in the day, but nowadays they ended up nerfing Cleaving Whirlwind, so it's really not as strong as it used to be. And greatswords just feel awkward now. So if you think this is worth it to you, you're going to really mod for the attack speed in some way. By the way, Berserker Fury is it used to be called just Berserker. Now it's called Berserker Fury, so they automatically like just made it worse. But yeah, if this is worth it to you, be my guest. I don't really use this thing at all anymore. It's very, very slow. 0.8 attack speed is pitiful, but of course you mod for that. So if that's worth it to you, go for it. Now, as far as for Zephyr, she is still really, really good too. I usually use Zephyr with the special ability Ensnare from Korra. So I'll usually do, I'll place down my Zephyr Tornadoes. If you hold down the button, it places them in like one singular spot. I'll wait until one enemy gets stuck in the tornadoes, then I'll cast Ensnare on the enemy. It will pull every enemy in the area into those tornadoes, and like easily kill them with like one hit, basically. So as far as the frame build, what you want to go for, at least for this setup, is going to be really high range for Ensnare, and really high duration, or not really high duration, as much duration as you can really fit on here. Apparently I have Anchored Glide in here too. As much duration as you want to fit on here to keep your tornadoes up. Keep in mind, if you do too much damage to these tornadoes, they will glitch out, and they will... You just can't, you have to recast them basically because you just did too much damage to your tornadoes. So that's something to keep in mind. Duration's not that important, but duration is nice for her 3 too. This is basically a bubble shield around you that deflects bullets. Doesn't do anything against melee, but yeah, it's pretty nice. Zephyr is pretty powerful nowadays, and also she was reworked at some point. She can just fly now. You hold down the first ability button and you can float midair. While you're midair as Zephyr, you get increased crits on weapons. So yeah, pretty fun frame, pretty powerful frame. And as far as her weapons, what did she have again? Oh, she had the Tiburon Prime, and she had the Cronin. Now, I don't really use the Cronin anymore because the Praetos, basically. The Praetos exists. If you search Tonfa, here's your choices on Tonfas. So yeah, the Cronin Prime, let's go ahead and take a quick look. Now, this is before Incarnons here. It's comparing these two. It has just straight up better stats right here. But then when you start investigating the Incarnons, this thing can give you massively increased parkour velocity, the Praetos. I'm just comparing these because they're very similar weapons. It gives you movement speed buff. That is so much better than whatever Cronin is doing. So, unfortunate, but nowadays, I don't even think I have a Cronin Ribbon. I don't even have a Cronin Stance on here. That's how much I don't use this thing anymore. But, you know, it's still a similar situation. Weeping Wounds, Blood Rush, Condition Overload, Prime Breach, Bane mod, and then like whatever other stuff you throw on here. You probably want a crit damage mod, honestly. So the melee builds don't really change much in this game, guys. It's like, okay, hybrid, crit. That's pretty much it. Hybrid, crit, condition overload. Throw on, like, you got a couple extra mod slots per personal preference, but yeah, for the most part, just go for, slash hybrid crit. That's just how this game is, and then Bane mod for the ones you're fighting. It's going to work great. Now, if you don't have access to the Praetos, I guess you could go for that, but for most people, I just recommend just get the Praetos instead. Now, for the Tiburon Prime, hilariously, I used to be so excited for this. This is the reason I bought Zephyr Prime Access way back. So, nowadays, it's got a new augment called Critical Precision, or somewhat new augment called Critical Precision, Burst Fire mode only. Headshots increase critical chance by 10% up to 500% missing, with all shots in a burst removes up to 100% of the bonus critical chance. So you can get like red crits with that probably. But this does eat a mod slot on your build when this thing already needs as much mod space as possible to fit on a full build. I used to even have a Toxin Rivet here just to try and fit this all on here, a Viral Hunter Munitions build. But ended up taking it off because, yeah, just don't use this thing. It's just a burst fire mode. Now, it technically can switch between burst mode. It has a semi-auto mode, I believe here. Semi-auto, so singular shot, and then has a full auto mode with higher status chance. Really not used much, but it can still get the job done in 2023. So, as far as the best items from this Resurgence, it's going to easily be the frames. Not even a question about it. Zephyr and Chroma are still used nowadays, for like endurance runs and Profit Taker and stuff like that. So, that's basically it for the video, guys. Not exactly a great Resurgence. Oh, I can also show you the special cat armor from this as well, since I have that. How do you equip that? So there is a special cat armor from Zephyr Prime. Let's see which one it is. It's the Tybor Prime armor. So this is what it looks like. You can of course color customize it. This also comes with some custom, I believe, Kavat gold colors, but I don't know which one it would be because yeah, we have a lot of gold colors in this game if you actually collect them all. So there's two of, I think it's Prime Gold right here. So if that looks good to you, be my guest. And yeah, that's basically it for the video, guys. I'll see you in the next one. This will be out in about 2 weeks, so like early October. And here's what I'm thinking. Like, so they just keep not bringing back the glaive. What's the copium this time? Well, my copium this time is that, well, you know what they usually do. This is really copium. They usually do Ember and Frost at the same time. But look at that right here. Frost is going to be here for another 101 days. Why would they bring back Frost if he's already here? So maybe after 101 days, they'll have Ember and Frost finally after 2 years plus, because for some reason DE wants to bring Ember and Frost back together, even though Ember doesn't need to be included with Frost. I don't know. Like, maybe because Hydroid's getting reworked too, they could do Ember and Hydroid. I don't know, guys. I just want the glaive to come back, and it won't come back. So it's frustrating, but here we are. I'll see you in the next video. Appreciate the support and take it easy. Bye!